Doom.
Doom,
Doom.
doom,
Doom.
doom, doom,
Doom.
doom, doom, doom,
Doom.
doom.
Bye.
Bye, Nats.
Wow, I thought you were strong. Can't even close the door.
Uh-huh.
Doom.
Doom, doom, doom.
Hot it up. Hop it da dee da.
Tita, Tito.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to another BeawCast.
BeawCast?
Podcast.
Podcast?
Because I took the B.
Oh, okay, fine.
BeawCast, podcast,
BeawCast.
podcast.
Okay.
So nice to see you guys, and so nice for you guys to be hearing our voices. Do we sound luscious? Oh yeah. Brrr. So today's just gonna be Bart and I. So we're gonna get a little bit weird. We don't have anything to really talk
Specific
about.
themes or topics?
It's gonna be straight from the dome.
Yep.
And the first thing that popped up into my dome as I was getting ready to do this was, since last week we had Bobby Lee and Kalila, whom we love so damn much. They say they love us too, but I think the level of love that they have for us, we totally beat them.
You think that's Hollywood talk?
Not for them. I don't see them as
You know how Hollywood people say, oh, yeah, we should totally grab lunch. And then they always say that to everybody.
We have that in our...
Love that. Fucking love that.
We have that in our industry too.
I know. Just like in that, like, any...
No, they don't say it the way like that. So I guess I'm...
Prove it, Bobby.
How does he prove it? He winks at you all the time.
Hit me up. Let's go to In-N-Out.
He came to us.
Let's go eat some food.
Okay. Well, I've had many encounters with just people that are in our space that are like, oh my God, I miss you. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I just met you once.
Yeah.
Like, bro, don't be fake. Like, you can't miss me. You don't know me enough to miss me. And I'm not a missable person.
I miss you all the time.
Thank you, baby. No, but I'm just like, wait, what? Like, you don't even know what my last name is. How do you miss me? And I'm like,
true.
Oh, you're one of those people. I'm
yeah,
like,
this
okay.
is industry talk. They're just trying to rub shoulders, make sure they get it in good with people that they think might be important.
So if you want to get it in good with me,
yeah,
don't be fake. Don't tell me you miss me when you don't know me. Like, ask me questions. Like, that's why I was able to
What's
hit it
your
off.
favorite thing then? If you, like, you know, when you meet people, what's your favorite thing for your, like, oh,
I like when people
that
dig.
person. They like to dig?
Yeah.
So
I like when people dig.
So they're like, they meet you and they're like, hey, what's up?
In a very personable way.
Hey,
not to dig for their own like benefit.
My name is Marcus.
Hey, Marcus.
I was just wondering how old you were when you lost your virginity.
That's already a weird question.
But then, isn't that digging?
That is digging. And then I would go, wow, you just met me. Why do you want to know that so bad?
Well, I watched the podcast and you said you want people to dig.
Yeah.
So I'm digging.
Okay, but what would you get out of that? Why do you want to know? I guess you still would have to answer my question.
Oh, I was just trying to see if you're a slut.
Oh, what defines a slut to you?
To me, pretty much if I don't know, I'm not a slut either.
Okay. Well, I think you're fucking weird.
So I ruined it. Okay.
So
if you ever meet Gio and you want to get it
don't be socially awkward.
Fine.
I guess though, yeah. What does that mean, right? To everyone, it's different. Because I'm probably really socially awkward to a lot of people.
You know how I got close with David? I think.
How?
So like when we first met at the San Diego Asian Film Festival.
Yeah.
I think like there's a certain level of realness that we like, and I think that's the same thing that we like with Steve. So if you guys watched our vlog when we were at Playlist Live, you know how there was like this panel of comedians. Or so quote unquote like content creator comedians, and they're taking themselves like extremely serious. It's like people that fill up like their Range Rovers with popcorn, and then the panelist would be like, or the moderator would be like, oh, so please tell me about your creative. What's your creative process? And they're like, oh, it starts with some kombucha.
But they're American.
And in the morning and I brainstorm and I take all my genius ideas, ones that can convert into feature films, and I take my life and I put my blood, sweat, and tears, and they're just like, what the fuck? Like, why are you taking yourself so goddamn seriously when you
don't create that type of serious shit?
Yeah.
You're not changing lives, bro.
Yeah. So when we're at the Asian Film Festival, there's a lot of those types too. You know, people that make one indie film. Yeah. And it's like some ghetto ass, like bad quality shit.
And they deserve an Oscar. And they've already won an Oscar in their mind.
Yeah. And they're talking about it like it's a masterpiece, when me and Joe, like, we're like, dude, it's
like a sink with running water in black and white.
Yeah. And me and Joe, we just play the uncles. And we know we're goofballs. Yeah. So we just fuck around because we don't take our shit more seriously than it is. Yeah. And when we met David, after we came out, like, David, he just puts it all out there, man. You know, he just like, man, those guys are fucking whack. And I'm like, yeah. I like you, David. I'm like, you want to go grab some Mexican food? And then that's when he was like,
tacos El Gordo.
Yeah. He was like, you don't know Mexican food. I'm like, what, bitch? I'm like, you fat, so I know you eat good. But don't tell me from LA I don't know Mexican food.
You fat, so I know you eat good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
Is it just me? Or
no, it's mine too.
One side of our freaking headphones keeps going out.
I don't know if you noticed, but.
What is that?
I kept like.
Hold on, let me double check real quick. I gotta make sure it's.
Yeah, I don't want the sound to be bad. That's scary. Give us a second, guys. But I guess I'll continue with it.
Keep talking so I can make sure it's good.
Yeah. So yeah, like the way that Bard and I are, and just the whole circle of our friends, we just like a person who is very self-aware and just doesn't care about any consequences for being themselves. So they have this confidence about themselves that are like. It sounds really good. Yeah. They have this confidence about themselves where they're like, all right, I might sound weird. I might come off, and not cocky either. Okay. But they're like, I might come off weird, or you might judge me for this, but fuck it. Like, I'm just going to show you my butthole. Like, that's what we like.
You know why I think we like that? Because kind of like, remember when we had Bobby on? Yeah. And he was saying that anytime he's in a room and everyone's agreeing with him, he's got to leave that room. Because he needs a difference of opinions. Yeah. And so he thought it was dope that he's against guns. I'm for guns, but we can still be friends. Yeah. So that's what he likes.
Bobby Hundreds.
Yeah, Bobby Hundreds. Like, he wants to have Bobby Hundreds, the guy that started the Hundreds, and he wanted to have a room of differing opinions, and it's your maturity and your ability to accept differences that keep you in the room and keep you friends. Yeah. But being able to be real and not have to always...
Yes, sir,
and like bandwagon on each other. Yeah, that's what's really cool.
Suck each other's dicks all the time. Yeah, it's like, who are you? I don't know. I think that's why I like when people pry. Yeah. Like, that's why, like, I really like Kalila and Bobby, because they just put it out there. Like, the first time I ever met Kalila, she's talking about how she jacked off her dog, and I'm like, tight. I'm not like for the jacking off of her dog. Yeah. And I'm like, that's not what I would ever do, and I don't.
I like where her heart's at though.
Yeah, it was to relieve her dog because she felt like he was stressed. But
and it's a common Filipino thing. So like, culturally,
the Filipinos are like, nah. No, that's what she said.
Like, we can't judge it. We can't judge it culturally because that's what they do over there.
Well, regardless of what it is, right? Like, I don't necessarily have to align myself with it or agree with it, but the fact that this is something that is very hard for the majority of people to do, for you to just throw it out there and you don't even know what I'm going to say. I could judge you. Like, you just became vulnerable.
Yeah, that's true.
And you didn't give a fuck. I'm like, ooh, shit. Let's be friends. Yeah. I like that. But going back to talking about them, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Yeah. When they were here last week, make sure to listen to that podcast, because this is the first time I was able to really, or maybe the second time, where I really saw a very human side of Bobby. You all right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get in a good position without messing up the mic.
So in that other podcast, we talked about like if he ever lost his brother, how like the depths of the devastation that he would feel, and then same with Kalila with her sister, and then so that's already a pretty deep conversation, and he's really vulnerable, which is something that we don't really see, especially if you follow us on Just Kidding News and you watch all of those, and if you don't, please go check that out.
Yeah. Or if you even listen to Bobby's podcast, like he's always goofing around.
Tiger Belly, check that out
all the time.
Yes, it was really cool to see that. So within that conversation, we got to talking about movies. And then, we talked about movies we liked and we didn't like. And then he shared this movie that he is like currently in love with. He really is really impressed by it. Maybe I'm like fluffing it up more than what he did. But it's called Hereditary, and he's like, you have to watch this movie. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm interested, because I love watching movies. Like I really enjoy them. It's really hard for me to dislike a movie. Like I'll appreciate it if it's a chick flick or if it's a teeny bopper flick. Like I'll appreciate it for what it is. I really try. So I'm like, oh shit, I want to watch that. But then he said it was a scary movie. And Pop Bear made me watch it.
Okay, so first of all, if you guys don't know, Gio is deathly. And then I found out, before you jump in,
and then I found out Bart didn't even know I was deathly paranoid
of movies.
Not movies,
scary movies. And I didn't even know how serious that was until that night.
And that blew my mind.
Because in the middle of watching it, what did you text me? We're in the middle of watching with Casey and Tiff, and you text me. You're like, fuck you, motherfucker.
No, I mean, but that's pretty much what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
I was like, Papa, I'm so disappointed in you right now. You were supposed to have my back.
Yeah. And you know what I thought? I always thought all those years when she was like, oh, I don't want to watch scary movies, I thought she was trying to do that cute Asian girl thing.
But like, I'm not Asian.
Like, I know. But I thought you were trying to do like, oh, I'm so scared. Don't make me watch it because it's going to make me take my clothes off.
But did I ever take my clothes off?
No, because I probably did something after, like, to piss you off so you don't want to be all horny anymore. But I always thought that's what you were trying to do.
That's so stupid.
And even with the lights, you know how, like, there's times I always try to turn off the lights because she gets scared and she gets so cute. So I thought you were just playing into it. I didn't know that you were really scared.
That's a waste of my fucking time.
I know, but I didn't know until that happened. And then you texted me and you're like, yo, I thought you got my back. And when you talked to me all serious, I was like, oh,
yeah, because he knows I'm afraid of scary movies. We had our friends. I'm
definitely afraid of it, though.
I am. I'm so fucking paranoid.
Because if I did, I wouldn't have made you watch it.
So this is where we're going back, okay? So we had our friends, Tiff and Case, over. And then we were on the verge of putting Taika to sleep, and it's like, oh, we should watch something. Like, we never get to hang out as just friends now because we're all so busy. Like, let's watch something. And then Pa Bear was like, oh, we can watch a UFC fight or Hereditary, the super scary. And he sold it to the room. He's like, the super scary movie, Bobby Lee's like all about it, and it's like a he's like a like it should win awards, but didn't awards and all this. And he fought for this movie. So of course any regular person would be like, yeah, let's watch that shit. I'm sold. So everyone wanted to watch it, and I'm like, oh my God. And I hate, in my circle of friends, I hate being the no person. Like, I never want to be the no person. Like, if I don't want to eat live octopus, I'll still go to support my friends, but I will not fucking eat that shit. But I'm not going to be like, nah, I ain't going, dog. You know, like, I want to be part of the group.
That's why you're so fucking cool.
Thank you. Yeah, so he decided to watch this movie, and I'm like, holy shit. And I was trying to play it low profile by being on my phone, and he's like, oh, wait, we're not going to watch until you're ready to watch. And I'm like, you motherfucker. I literally made you stay awake. Like, I literally made you stay awake in Tulum because I was scared, because everything kind of was like rickety, and it was like really dimly lit, and it just freaked me out a little bit. So I'm like, Papa, please don't go to sleep before. So you have to stay awake. Let me fall asleep first. I've never done that.
I thought you were doing the whole cute Asian girl thing
but
again.
That doesn't make any sense.
Why? It makes perfect sense.
I'm asleep.
So you know how cute Asian girls, they always like try to protect, like pretend like they can't protect themselves, and they're kind of dependent on you. So they're like, oh, can you do this for me? When you've seen their ancestors, like you've seen their aunt fucking blowing snot out on the front lawn, descaling the fish on the front lawn, fucking kneading dough, and then washing clothes. Like, I know what Asian girls are capable of, and they're just pretending like they can't.
That's like a physical thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is more of like a psychological thing. I'm fucked up.
I've also seen Asian girls fucking go, like, you know, bow with incense and get all the spirits away. I've seen that. So I thought you were just being hella cute.
For 10 years?
Yeah. I really thought, I'm sorry. I really thought that you were just being like really like a good Yaja Chingu, you know what I'm saying?
But I'm not a Yaja Chingu because I'm not a Hanguk, all right?
Then what are you?
I'm a fucking Mexican. American.
I know, and I thought you Mexican watch scary movies.
And I'm Mexican.
Okay. Now I learned you're a Mexican.
Yeah, and that shit, like, it sounded very traumatizing. It sounded scary. Like, so we were kind of fighting on our through text.
I know. I was apologizing right off the bat.
Fine,
Like, once I knew,
I was popping off at the thumbs.
Fine.
I was popping off at the thumbs, and I was like, what the fuck? Like this, I wasn't being that uncivilized, but like the tone of my text.
Yeah.
I didn't give them all caps.
You weren't Cardi B, but you weren't your normal self.
I wasn't being soft, CUNY, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And at the end of that, I'm like, all right, well, I don't want to be the party pooper. So how about I just stay on my phone and you back the fuck off? Like, don't tell me to pay attention. And then you let me be. But it didn't sound that scary. Like, I remember watching House of a Thousand Corpses remember Rob Zombie, the musician?
So here's the problem. I haven't seen that movie.
Oh.
If I want to watch it.
That shit's twisted.
You wouldn't watch it with me, huh?
No, I mean, I'm watching it in my head right now. That's how traumatizing that was.
Okay, fine. So I have to watch it by myself.
It's weird.
Got
like,
it.
the mind of Rob Zombie is weird. So the basic premise, spoiler alert, psych, because it's old as fuck. So the basic premise is there are these people that are on a road trip. And, of course, they have to stop at this fucking nowhere, in the middle of nowhere town.
Yeah.
Maybe for lodging, I think.
Like a rest stop or something.
Yeah, or like it's been over 10 years since I've seen this thing.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's been around for over 10 years. I feel like it has. So yeah, it's been over 10 years, and there's like a museum that they walk into and stuff. They're like, oh, this is pretty interesting. And there's just like, they're cannibals, and then there's like this weird like devil looking demon thing that like tortures people and kills. It's weird.
Sounds pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I can't do that shit. But it didn't sound like Hereditary didn't sound like it was as wild as that.
Just the shots were really creepy, and I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but there are, just like Bobby said, there are a few images that I feel like really push the boundaries of horror.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, like the one scene with the daughter.
Which one?
There's the scene that's ingrained.
With the pool?
I don't want to give it away, but yes.
Oh, okay.
So there's that scene.
Yeah.
And then there's a scene when the mom was going to the attic. Spoiler alert.
With the grandma?
No, like she was knocking on the door.
Okay,
and when
I didn't
it
see
cuts
that.
to
Thank
her,
God.
she's using her head to knock on the door.
Oh my God, I didn't see
There's
that.
a lot of scenes that I was like, fuck. It was like Exorcist level. Like,
what? Fuck, why did I do this to myself?
Bring up some scary shit.
Why did I do this?
Hold my hand.
Why did I do this? Let's talk about something. Why did I do that? Why do I do this shit?
I don't know.
I had so much to say.
See, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's why it's really hard for me. I really try my best to be good for you. But you freaking switcheroo on me all the time.
You fuck around.
You fuck around.
All right. So for the record, and this one, because I always tell you, baby, there are no absolutes in this life.
I know.
This is one that you can say is a fucking absolute. Okay. This is black and white.
Okay.
There's no variation or deviation from this. Okay. You can put this in stone. You can cement it. It's never going away.
Then why are we having this conversation?
I'm about to tell you why.
Tell you.
Okay. So I am deathly afraid of ghosts, or horror, or slasher, or devil, or like church shit. So anything in the horror realm, I'm fucking afraid of.
What if it's not in the horror realm, but it's that subject matter?
I'm so scared of it. Even the conversations I'm scared of.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't know how I got so traumatized. I mean, I might have an idea.
Tell me. Because so in your mind, these supernatural things are just as real as...
That's the thing, though. Because it's so uncertain.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I like to categorize shit in my mind, right? I like to put facts in the fact box, and then things that are not facts. Then I need to work it out to see where it belongs. Like, is it just hocus pocus?
Yeah.
And it's just not real?
Yeah.
Or is it real?
Yeah. But it's 99% it's been not real.
I mean,
like in your day-to-day life, right?
For me, I guess.
Out of the 7 days of the week, how many days do you see ghosts?
I don't, thank God.
Exactly. So it's 100% you don't see ghosts.
Right. But then.
How many times do you hear ghosts?
Well, this is another thing, right? So I think this is where it fucked me up. So I've had really close relatives, and I've had really close friends that have like experienced things firsthand.
Yeah. Like me.
Like you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot that you did that. Like you? So the like even that right there, you saying like me, I'm like, oh my God, if this exists, then this can also exist.
Yeah, but I've also seen fucking David Blaine make some chick sign a playing card and it ends up in a bottle. So I know optical illusions. I know tricks exist. Things beyond our logical comprehension exist.
Right. Yeah.
So until there is overwhelming fact or until I have a direct personal experience punched in my face. So for example, for those of you guys that don't know, my mom is extremely religious, right? Extremely spiritual to the point if recently she had like some heart murmur problems. And when she's with her brother, who's a dentist, he of course always recommends, hey, you should get an X-ray.
Because doctors hang out with doctors.
Yeah, get a whatever EKG, whatever. Like get your stuff monitored. For her, she's like, no, I'm gonna go see my special X-Men friends, I like to call them, and
what's an X-Men friend?
So someone with like a super natural power.
Okay.
So for Spanish people, like a curandero, right?
I don't know, maybe
like a witch doctor, like just some crazy mofo.
Yeah.
So I know a couple of them. One of them my mom really likes to go to. She's this lady that chants all these random things. Like she'll feel your presence and then she'll talk to the gods to figure out why you are this way.
Oh my Lord,
because you're reincarnated. So now you're taking on, maybe you're repaying some sin from a past life, but she'll beg for your forgiveness. And then, but as she's trying to heal you, where she can pull like a bunch of herbs out of thin air, she'll do that. And then what ends up happening is that she gets her life shortened. Like she'll tell my mom, like, because of this, I'm gonna get like a boil on my back or whatever. But because she knows her purpose in life, that's what she does. Wild. So she's like, and she's telling my mom in these secret societies, like when there's a bunch of them that they always have these regular meetups, like they're always constantly fucking with each other. Like when someone's going up giving them a speech, someone is stealing their like watch off their wrist and putting it in someone else's pocket.
So they're magicians.
They're all X-Men. They all have like these powers or doing crazy shit. But so for my personal experience, I've told Gio before, was in high school, I sprained my arm wrestling, and my mom, being the crazy mofo that she is, instead of going to a doctor and getting checked out or a physical therapist, she brought that lady over to my dad's house. I'm like, all right, if this is going to make you happy, fuck it. So I sit there. She stands next to me, touches my arm a couple of times, prays, and she goes, hold out your hand. I hold out my hand, and she starts sprinkling this powder out of nowhere into my hand, and the whole room smells like herbs, like a Chinese herb shop.
And you're super skeptical, so you're trying to find any hole,
right? Yeah, I'm just like, I already don't believe this shit. She goes, go boil water, and I drank it, and it did heal. Could be placebo, I don't know. But the fact that she did all that, and she does that on a constant basis, it's fucking crazy.
So that's the thing, though. So that right there, that statement, and this is, I'll put it out there. I know that this is a very illogical fear that I have. It for sure is. But I think because if black exists, then white has to exist, right? In order for black to exist, like there needs to be that opposite, right?
Yeah.
So then like yin with the yang, right? Like hot, cold.
Depends on how you look at it, but yeah, hot and cold, yeah.
Okay. So because of that, then I'm like, if this exists and this is a good type of thing, then a bad one must exist too, right?
Well, I don't even know, but you're talking about supernatural, because I don't even know if that's supernatural. That could just be optical illusion.
True. Yeah, I don't know either. But I think because I don't know, then that's why I'm like, but what if?
So I think that's where I'm different from you, where because I don't know, it already is false.
Oh, that's so tight.
Because I've seen crazy shit like in Taiwan. I don't know what.
Don't even tell me.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Taiwan, but there's a lot of crazy shit that goes on. Like sometimes, especially the village side, when you drive down the village, you'll just see like a row of monks bowing every 3 steps for like miles. And then you'll see a guy with like a baseball bat and nails, and he's just smacking himself, like kind of like that guy that's in Da Vinci Code, and he keeps like all his self-pain. And then so when you see like these crazy things, you're just like, man, this guy has got to be possessed by a spirit or something to be able to withstand this kind of pain. And
well, not really, because look at the other monks that can pull like fucking semi-trucks with their nutsack.
Yeah, but they train for it. This guy's bleeding off of his back.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
he probably
shredded meat.
How do you know he didn't train for it?
Maybe, but I've seen a lot of stuff growing up with my mom, just seeing like crazy shit.
Yeah. And
even with that, I still feel like a lot of it is fake. And
good for you, man.
You don't see it? You don't see us?
I wish I could. I wish, because I don't like feeling any sort of vulnerability.
Yeah.
Vulnerability. How do you say it?
Vulnerability, yeah.
Oh, okay, vulnerability. I don't like feeling that. Like, I like knowing that I can overcome things.
Yeah.
So even with me being claustrophobic, right? Like, I know, like, if I try a little bit harder, then I can, in that moment, I can calm myself down. Like, I know, like, I have a light at the end of the tunnel, right?
Yeah.
But it's during, like, when you, like, lay on me or you put your arm on me, it's just me being lazy and not having to take the extra step to be like, oh, got it. Okay, really mentally focused to really get rid of it so that you don't feel like you're getting suffocated, right?
I love that feeling.
Getting suffocated?
No, the feeling of
overcoming?
In a stressful situation and having to reach Zen.
Yeah, no. So because I know I'm capable of that, that's why I don't care about that. That's why I'm like, I can control that. If push comes to shove, I'm very confident that I can deal with it.
That's badass.
Yeah, but with this one, I hate that I can't, you know? And as much as I want to try it, like I have to put Taika to sleep in like the dark, like
and you always tell me to come with you.
Not all the time.
Most of the time.
Well, now because there's just shit that I've watched, you know. But for a few months, like I was like turning off all the lights, closing the door behind me, and just being like, "Fuck that shit! Like they ain't shit here." Because you were like, you would say that your mom would say that you're a god and nothing can happen to gods, and I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'm a fucking god too. Nothing can happen to gods."
The way my mom, well, not like that in the sense that like I'm a god amongst humans, but it's like the way my mom explains it is
because it's a Buddhist approach.
If you're righteous. And if you're righteous and you're full of this gleaming righteous light and you're not shady and there's nothing that you're really hiding, those demons or whatever supernatural powers, they can feel that and they want to latch on to weak people. Weak people meaning people they can bias. So it's like someone that's like might steal from their brother. They're like, oh, that guy's already corruptible. So I'm going to hang around on him and I'll sink my teeth into him when he's ready. But if they're like, okay, this guy's noble and honorable.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna waste my time on this guy. So because of that, there's like this gleaming light. So I do visualize myself.
That's so cool.
Like when I was a kid, I would like when I have to get up to go pee and it's all dark, I would get scared. But I'm like, I'm gleaming light and I'm honorable. And I go like this.
That's so cute.
And I just feel all this white light going everywhere and all the demons going away and I go pee.
That's so fucking cool. Well, I didn't have that growing up. But yeah, because I remember you telling me that story, like I had tried to adapt that into my life. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm a fucking god, you know? So then I'm like, I got this. And then I think it's one of those that I have to like really try mentally to just zone in on that. And then I'm able to do it, you know? But it's when I'm feeling weak or I'm tired or whatever, I just don't want to have to like exude so much mental energy and focus. Is that even the right word? Exude? Whatever.
No, that's right.
Then that's when I'm more like susceptible to just letting my imagination run wild. And then that's when I get really scared because I'm like, fuck, in that corner. Oh my God, it looks like something. Oh shit, what if it like blows in my ear? Like that's my biggest fear.
But don't you know, when you're watching a movie, that's a straight up movie. That's
absolutely.
Like,
I produced movies, you know, like I produced all this. I know what's in the back end. I know that it's all sound design. I know that there's a whole crew behind the camera. I know that all that blue and the black and that's all in post. Yeah. I know it's lighting. I know it's makeup. I know all of this. Yeah. That's why I'm saying it's such an illogical fear, you know, and that's why I get disappointed and sad at myself because I'm like, it's so illogical. Like, just get it over with, you know, but there's obviously some sort of traumatic thing that must have happened where maybe my brother and sister, they fucked with me a little too hard that it got me to believe it, you know, or I don't know what it is. If you guys know out there, let me know what I can do to like overcome this because I would love to overcome it. I hate it. Yeah. It's like this. It's like I hate feeling weak in anything.
What if you jump into the belly of the beast?
And go in a complete fucking dark room?
No, like let's go to a haunted house that has hella sightings and stuff.
Well, I grew up religious.
Yeah.
I grew up very religious. And as much as I can say that, I'm agnostic now, or I don't believe in anything but myself, or whatever, or I believe in just the universe. Like the shit that you grow up listening to and the verses and the scripture and all that stuff, like it still sticks with you.
Yeah.
You know, so like you know, if I'm gonna put myself in a place that's haunted or whatever, like that might come back home.
So when you're
and I grew up Mexican.
When you're that spiritual negatively, are you that spiritual positively?
Yes.
So you believe in angels as much as demons?
I believe in good stuff too, you know, because that's another one I grew up with, but I like to call it karma. Like the good and the bad angels now, like I don't see them as like angels. I'm just like, that's karma.
What about the squeaky, like what's your white to the scary a girl with the hair in front of her face in the room?
I don't know. That's why I'm scared. That's why I'm scared of it. If I had that.
So you believe in the negative spirituality way more than the positive spirituality.
So right now, what helps me the most these days is my dad.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, my dad's got my back. My dad's here.
Slashing motherfuckers. Yeah. That's tight.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's I guess my antithesis.
Well, when you went to the Vatican City, you know how I had like a very spiritual feeling there, even though I'm not Catholic.
No, I didn't have that.
Oh, you didn't have that?
No.
That's crazy. Even though you're so spiritual.
It wasn't spiritual. I'm not that spiritual.
But only in the negative side you are, like the supernatural.
But I don't know if that's really spiritual, is it?
Oh, well, so I'm just talking about supernatural things.
Yeah.
So, for example.
But it's not religious. So, because for your spiritual, like when I'm thinking your version of spiritual in the Vatican City, I'm thinking of a religious.
So, for my definition of supernatural, supernatural encompasses ghosts and demons and stuff, and it encompasses angels and encompasses religion. Like everything that is unexplained in the physical world.
I see.
To me, that's all supernatural.
But religion isn't supernatural. It's just a philosophy.
It is supernatural. Like so.
It's not.
When Jesus walked on water.
But that's just the story in which they teach you the lesson. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I mean.
But the religion for me is a philosophy.
Or like when, I don't know, like Abraham lived like 300 years old.
It's a story to teach you the lesson.
Yeah, but if you put yourself in the times of Christianity during that time, when they wrote down supposedly historical observations, Jesus was fucking sea walking on water.
Yeah, well, that's supernatural then.
That's what I mean. So like for me, all the supernatural stuff, like or like in purgatory, or like when there's exorcisms, like, you know, that's all part of religion, which is also part of the supernatural world to me.
Well,
People speaking in tongues and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I guess I don't really view it the same way like that, because for me, I'm like, well, that's just how they would explain. So for me,
you just think everything's a fable.
Yeah, I see it as Greek mythology, right? Yeah. So like in Greek mythology, the reason why it existed was because the education, they didn't have all the knowledge that we have now. So like things like an echo, something that we know why things echo, right? It's just the sound that bounces off of objects.
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't understand that. Yeah. So then they would have a god for that was named Echo.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because that's how they would explain it.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah. So then,
if you saw like a straight up demon come at you.
Don't say that, dude. Don't say that. Why? Why would you bring it back?
I'm just really trying to understand you. Okay. So if you saw a demon come at you and there's a cross right here, you wouldn't go grab it. I would. You would be like, oh, it's nothing but stories.
I would.
And just toss it.
Well, I would, because it was ingrained in my mind that this is like in exorcism movies and like in just stories that's what you're supposed to do, you know, in hopes that it works.
Yeah. Because
it's like I'm in the heat of the moment, so I'm gonna fucking try anything I can try.
You know what's the perfect example for the way I think about supernatural stuff? It's like Constantine.
Oh fuck! Why would you put another fucking scary movie in my head?
That's not even a scary movie.
That is a scary movie because it's all about fucking angels and demons. What are you talking about?
Okay, fine. Well, it's super,
and it looks scary.
It's supernatural.
And I watched it.
It's supernatural. Right, there's angels, demons, and anything in between, all the gray
people that
area,
are possessed,
all the gray area, and it's tied directly to religion.
Yes.
So for me, it's like almost every religion has its own prepackaged form of supernatural.
Yeah.
So like the crazy demons that you see in Catholicism are different than the ones you see in Buddhism, different from Taoism, and I'm sure in any other isms. So for you don't see them that way. You just see it as just stories, and you just see demons as its own thing.
No, because I don't know enough about other religions, but I'm just saying like just Catholicism.
So when you see an exorcism, do you see that as...
oh my God, I don't want to ever see an exorcism.
But an exorcism to you is part of religion, right? You're
it
like,
is.
If I need to, I'm going to go grab Father, whoever there.
I'm running. I'm not grabbing shit.
Okay, fine.
Because I believe that it's real. Or I believe, I don't know what I believe. I guess because I can't prove that it's not real, then I guess I believe it's real.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just too real. So I don't want to be there. Like,
then how come you didn't feel Vatican City was like the holiest place in the world and the most impenetrable to negative supernaturals?
Because of all the factual shit that has came out of there, of all like the raping and the abuse and stuff, that I'm like, this shit unfortunately is so tainted.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's so many secrets and so many lost souls and so much like sad story here.
Yeah.
That like it was more saddening than beautiful, and like I wasn't in awe, you know.
Yeah.
But I knew my mom would totally be in that, so that's why I bought my mom a rosary and stuff. And she like, because she's a big like, she prays all the time.
So you're more, damn, you're pretty fucked. Cause,
I know.
Because on the negative side of supernatural, you really believe in it, and on the negative side of real natural, it's more real than fake to you. On the positive side of supernatural, you're more doubtful and factual.
I'm doubtful of the people, right? So like miracles and stuff like that, I believe that stuff. I believe that can happen.
But when you see like the Vatican City, you see
but that's man-made. Like what? It's not like like. So remember when we went to
but we saw the lineage. That's the crazy part.
Well, wait up. Because the one where I did feel fucking gnarly was when we were at the Cathedral of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And then they had a piece of like Jesus's crown.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, oh shit.
But what about when St. Peter's tomb is buried right in front of you, and that fool and Jesus were dapping like every day?
That was pretty wild.
That's wild, right?
That was really wild.
And then you see the lineage of St. Peter and his homeboy and his homeboy and his homeboy.
That's pretty
and you're
wild.
just like, wow, the lineage of popes trace all the way back to St. Peter.
Yeah, but I wasn't as in awe or moved as much as you were, because I think just how much it's tainted, and because that whole thing is man-made, you know? Yeah. That's why for me it was like, ooh, like, I don't know. It was a beautiful place.
Because when I saw that, I was like, man, if God is anywhere, he is here.
Oh, really?
That's what it felt like.
But why? I mean, that's another one where I'm like, well, he's probably not here because this goes against, I don't know. I'm probably offending so many people.
Because God, well,
just know that I'm fucked in the brain.
You're expressing your own opinions, and you have every right to your opinion.
I do.
But since St. Peter, the homie of Jesus, is there,
yeah,
and all his other homies has, I guess, worked and occupied that space. That's why, to me, I'm like, wow, this is
But
crazy.
then I think I don't feel it like that, because I have a feeling that like God is omniscient, you know, like he's everywhere.
Yeah.
So you put this beautiful cathedral and all this and stuff. I'm like cool. Like, this is in his honor, but like that doesn't mean he's here. I mean, of course he's here, but it's because he's everywhere.
Yeah.
You know.
But one of his human homies.
Yeah.
Is buried there, so he probably goes there a little bit more than the other places.
No, we don't know that. I mean, he's here and he's not. You know, like he's everywhere. So, like for me, I'm like, this is just so much flash. For what? Like cool. Like, I guess it just brings more awareness. Like, it's just a good branding.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I just say like it's a good business and it's branded. And look at how many people are coming here.
That's what I mean.
And now all these other people get touched with his. I'm like, cool branding. But I wasn't like, you know.
That's what I mean. Like, that's what I mean. I find it interesting because on the negative side, I'm a mess. Very accepting on the positive. You're very doubtful.
I'm not because
well, that's the church of churches, and for you, you're like, this is just a physical structure.
Well, yes, because it's man-made. You know what I mean? And man is corrupt. So I'm like, we don't know what it was really made for.
But you know what I'm saying, though, right? So,
even though we really do know.
So on the negative side, you're like, oh yeah, any ghost, any wet girl walking around, I believe that shit. Any creaky house,
I don't believe
that,
it,
which is also man-made.
Oh fuck, I guess I do believe it.
And then on this side,
but I don't believe it in the way you just said it. It's because I haven't seen it, and I haven't. But I have heard that people have seen shit like that and experienced it. Is like enough for me to be like, oh fuck, I believe something like that. You know, like Tiff.
That's what I'm saying, though. So when you're at home and it's dark and you hear funny noises, instead of thinking it's rats, the first thing you're like, oh fuck, I'm scared. Papa Bear, where are you? Right? that's your shit.
I know.
Over here,
this is so obnoxious.
At the Vatican City, there might be a gleam of light that comes in. Maybe a couple of white doves, and you're like,
I believe that's
just
too.
Mating season.
I believe.
You're like, and then everyone else is like, oh, and you're just like, meh.
Yeah, I guess season. I am. I guess so I am. You're like
doubtful
actually.
on this.
That's so sad.
It's hard. It's.
That's true. Because my mom is that person.
Yeah.
My mom, she's very.
I think she would cry. She would have a very emotional, spiritual reaction there.
She sees birds, like she'll see doves, or she sees certain things. She's like, oh my god, like that was a sign. She sees a lot of signs all the time, and she's very connected to her religion. She believes a lot of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, like, I hear her say stuff like that. And I think for me, I just want to, like, I'm just like, Mom, it's just a bird. It's just a bird, or it's just whatever. Like, I want to believe, I want to buy into that. But this is where I'm also fucked up. I feel like this is just this crutch of, like, for like, where I just see it like, oh man, like you need to move past that, you know? Like why are you believing in these things? Like, I'm so weird.
You're very weird.
I'm so
weird. You want to believe the negative and you don't want to believe the positive.
It's so weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I believe the positive, but just not in the way that religion says it, you know? Like, I believe in karma, you know? That's a form. Not to say that karma is religion, but if we break it down, if we break both down, there's good and bad, you know? There's positive and negative, and there's good and evil in karma.
Well, karma is a kind of different beast, because karma, it's kind of saying that the universe is going to work itself out. So it's constantly seeking its own equilibrium.
Yeah.
So there's not much will in place. So that's just trusting, like, that the soul, like, gravity is always going to pull, whatever.
Yeah.
Demons, we have, this guy's will, his will is to do bad shit. And here, angels, their will, so it's different. True. It's like trusting an entity that has its own drive and purpose.
Yeah, I think the reason why I believe in that more is because I'm just like, I just feel like I can only control myself, you know, and I know who I am, and I know that I'm a good person, and I know that I always try to make the best decisions, and I try not to steal or cheat or lie and all that stuff, right? So I'm like, I'm a good doer, do-gooder. I'm a good doer. So then I feel like there's a lot of me's around, and then there's, like, this balance that the universe has. So all I can control is myself. Because then with the other one, I feel like you're already kind of put into this category that you're good or you're bad, you know, and like. Yeah. And for me, I'm like, well, wait, like, we're all capable of both, but I'm gonna control what I can do. I guess it is pretty passive. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
This got deep, dude.
No, that's pretty interesting, because I think for me, I believe both the negative supernatural and the positive supernatural, and I think I believe all of them at the same time, like, across all religions.
You're balanced.
No, across all religions.
Yeah.
So, like, Catholicism, Christianity, Buddhism, I feel like they all, I don't know, I just feel like they all of that stuff exists. And it could be.
I do too.
It could be they all are actually the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's just humans
categorizing it. Yeah. Just because they grew up wherever they grew up in the world.
Yeah, it could be. Or they could actually all be different, and they're all different supernatural creatures.
I believe that too.
But I'm not as doubtful as you, because I too know that the
But
Pope.
Check it out.
No. I too know that the Pope has hung scientists in St. Basilica Square. I know that when they were going against the church.
Yeah.
But when I go there, I still feel some sort of, like, holy spiritual feeling. You know, I don't.
I guess I've not as much.
The feeling is almost overridden by the spirituality versus realism.
Yeah.
Versus when it's the negative stuff, I'm the opposite of you.
I see.
When I hear weird noises, it's like termites, rats, old pipes.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Damn, that's
so maybe that's why I'm not as scared of, like, the scary stuff as you.
Yeah. I mean, you also didn't grow up with brothers and sisters, like, constantly fucking with you about that stuff.
True, but I also saw real shit. So I think maybe that made me go.
And your mom was really dope and told you you're a god that emits this dope light because you're righteous.
Yeah.
I didn't have that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fucking interesting.
That's why I also think if you go to the belly of the beast, you might just be like, oh, okay, this is as bad as it's gonna get on Earth.
Nah, I'm all right. I think I'll turn into a different person, and I think I'll be fucked for the rest of my life if something like that happens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's something I can't control, or I feel like I can't control. Yeah. You know, like everything else in my life, I feel like I have full capability of just switching it anytime I really want it. You know, like, I feel like there's nothing that I can't do.
Yeah.
But this thing right here is one of those where I'm like, fuck, man. But then who knows? You know, I might be tested, and someone might want to try to fuck with me, and I can just snap into place when something happens. I don't know. But yeah.
You feel like you do anything?
I really do.
Like skydiving, scuba diving, all that stuff?
Yeah, I really feel like if I really put my mind to something, I feel like I can do it. I might not be the best.
Yeah.
But I feel like I can get to a point where I'm content. And I'm like, oh, shit, that was tight. I didn't think I can do that, but I did it. Cool.
That's really cool.
Other people might not see it as something dope, but I'm like, dude, I didn't think I can get this far and I got this far. That's tight. But there's people like fucking David Goggins that are like, damn, I think I can get this far. Let me see how much more further I can go. Oh, that's it? Now you can go further. I'm not that person for sure.
Yeah. No, he's pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's scared of scary movies. He might be hella scared.
Maybe. Damn, we should get David Goggins here.
You never know. You never know how you don't know people's people. Yeah.
You don't know people's dark stuff.
Yeah.
There's people too that are like David. He's afraid of, what is that pore thing? Like when they can't look at too many pores.
Yeah, when like you load like a lotus bud or like a bunch of holes somewhere.
They look it's creepy, but he gets really, really freaked out.
And he doesn't like snails on him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting what people's like fears are.
Yeah.
I don't know what yours is.
I have a ton of fears.
Like what? Oh yeah, what the fuck am I talking about?
I'm scared of heights.
Yeah, duh.
I'm scared of things that of going fast when I'm not in control.
I drive fast all the time. That's not fast for you.
Well, because I trust you. I trust you more than a roller coaster because I know what your capability is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What else are you afraid of?
I'm also scared of like a bunch of bugs. Like the thought of being in a bathtub and then like a bunch of like roaches all over me.
Ooh, that's freaky.
That's pretty nasty.
But what level of scared are you? Like, are you where you feel like you might just be like you can't move? What is this called? Like you're paralyzed?
Paralyzed?
Yeah.
Nah. I mean, I can move, but it's just scary. I don't like that feeling. Like for me, I think probably heights is like one of the scariest things, and I constantly battle it every day.
I feel like that's a real fear.
Yeah, I battle it every day.
I feel like that's a real fear. I feel like the bug stuff and all that other shit, I feel like that's a preference.
Yeah, maybe that's a preference.
Yeah.
Like, and I know it's illogical too. So I try to like fight myself too. Like I'll be on the edge of like a tall building and I look over and I'm like, what's the difference between walking on that edge versus walking on the edge of the curb? It's just, you still require the same amount of balance.
Dude, but if a fucking gust of wind or you trip, you die. That's not the same type of walking.
But you're going to fall on the curb just as well. The same thing.
But there's no consequence.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the skill that it takes to do that is exact. It's the same thing. Like the skill it takes to draw a happy face here versus a gun here is technically the same. Yeah. But it's your own mental.
Yeah, right.
It makes it different, right? So like that's why when I am in a scary place, like the way I've been able to battle my phobia of heights is I constantly try to brainwash myself. Yeah. And I try to get closer and closer to the edge.
I got to do that more with my fear.
So like I go, what's the difference between this and a curb? And then so I'll try to walk on a curb and get the feeling of a curb and I try to get closer and closer. Yeah. Because I really respect those parkour guys. They just walk on the edge of buildings like it's nothing.
Yeah, that is wild because it's an innate thing in us to have, like it's how we stay alive, you know? Yeah. Like we perceive things and we're like, that is very dangerous. We need to move out of that. Yeah. So for them to have zero of that, I'm assuming they have zero of that. Yeah. Is wild to me. I'm like, is this like a natural selection? Like, are you supposed to? This is
Taika doesn't seem like he has any of that either. He's
right, but he's
fearless.
Well, but he's a baby. He hasn't, his depth perception, all that's all fucked up.
But he fell once already from the jungle gym. Yeah. And then when I held him, I was like, oh fuck, this is probably gonna ruin his like bravado. And he was like, right after, started climbing up the same thing.
Oh, the fun was too hard.
I'm like, oh shit, this guy's badass.
Yeah, he enjoys. Yeah, yeah. I think all that other stuff, I don't think it's a real fear. Like I think it's a preference, right? Like my whole like claustrophobia or whatever. Like it's not. I wouldn't say I need to get like medicated or see a doctor about this. Like it's not a real thing. Yeah. I think I label it that so that people can all understand it and I don't have to sit there and really explain like what it is and the level and how it affects or whatever. Yeah. But that I feel like I can control that. Yeah. With the darkness and all that. I'm like, fuck. Like yours. Like it's so illogical. I can't control it.
I love the feeling of feeling anxiety and then being able to push yourself to the state of Zen. I think that's such a cool feeling.
I don't know if I've ever been there.
Remember when we went to go eat for Tiff's dinner?
Oh, yeah.
So it's all dark, right? And then you get in there and for sure there's like some sort of level of anxiety. It's weird. You can't see things.
Let me catch you guys up. Let me catch everyone up. So we went to this, what was it called?
It was just like a dark dinner or something.
Okay, I forgot what the restaurant was called, but the basic premise of this restaurant is for you to experience what a visually impaired person experiences on a daily. So you have dinner in
pretty much blind. Pretty much what blind people experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they called it visually impaired.
Oh, okay. I don't want them to think like, oh, I got a protein in my contact, or or I got a hair in there. It's like
like you zero, like it's pitch black. So this restaurant is pitch black. So you can't even go into the restaurant just yet. The hostess, she like brings you in. She's like, okay, well, we're gonna go in order. This is your number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. How many are in your party? She says, this is where you're gonna be sitting. Did you guys memorize that? Okay. So what's gonna happen now is, you're gonna hold on to the person's right shoulder that you're standing behind of. Okay. So then we're all going to walk in a single file line, and you're not going to be able to see anything anymore. And you have to remember the order that you're in, because that's how you sit. And then you can't see the hand in front of you. All you can do is smell and hear things and feel things. And yeah, you're just in pitch darkness. So you trust that nothing's going to happen to you. You trust that whatever you're eating is healthy. And like, yeah, that was the dinner experience.
Yeah. So when you get in there, since it's all black, you can't see anything. It's just all hearing. That first moment, there's a lot of anxiety. You're just like, oh shoot, like you just feel claustrophobic. Like you feel so small, like you're very small in the world. You don't even breathe. Yeah, you can't even breathe. You don't even know if you exist technically. And then when you're able to kind of go and kind of center yourself, then you kind of relax.
Thank God it was like 20 of us too.
Yeah.
Because if it was just us two, I don't know if I'd be able to do it.
And that also kind of reminds me of like jiu-jitsu. And it kind of also reminds me of kickboxing. So in jiu-jitsu, you're getting all tied up and like strangled, kind of like feeling like you're getting tied up by like an anaconda. And then almost like the more you fight it, the more your heartbeat goes up and you make dumb decisions. Same thing in kickboxing. The more you try to muscle it and not just be smooth like Anderson Silva. And also scuba diving. So what I actually realized.
That sounded scary.
Yeah, what I actually realized, what I like, the things that attract me are extremely stressful situations.
Oh, no wonder you love me.
Yeah.
I stress the fuck out of you.
Yeah, the stressful situations, but you're forced to pull yourself and center yourself and become zen. And like being able, the feeling of like when I was scuba diving, right? And I finally mastered some of the skills, and then you're just swimming and it's cold as shit. And even though you're in a thick ass suit, and all of a sudden you swim by some seaweed and it just pulls your mask and the snorkel off you. And you're like, oh, shouldn't you get hit with ice cold water? You're like, what the fuck? And you're scared to open your eyes because it's so cold. And then you finally go, wait, that's not too bad. I know I could hold my breath for 60 seconds.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and you just kind of open your eyes. Okay, here's my regulator. Put that in, air first. Now, what was I taught? And I like all that. I like that feeling. It feels really, really cool.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's really dope. I like being put in stressful situations when I have to take care of people. Because then I don't think about myself, and now it's like, let's go, let's plan, let's do, let's strategize, let's go. And I don't like, I don't really fear. I'll feel my fear for myself, but because I'm not important at that moment, then I'm like, dude, I got to be strong for these people. Like, let's go. I like that stuff.
That's dope.
And then after, when everything's said and done and we're in the clear, then I'm like, oh my God, I can't fucking believe I just did that. Holy shit, that fucking so scary. Oh my God.
It's skinny. Do you ever feel that you need to train yourself up so you can be an asset to the team? Since you're playing such a team member role?
Say that again?
So, like, you know, because what it sounds like is like you like to be that team member, right? Like you want to be an asset to the team.
Oh, yeah.
So do you ever feel like in your other side, then you got to train yourself up so that you're a huge asset?
Yeah. The last thing I ever want to do is disappoint anyone. So let's say now that we're like all trapped in this dark ass cave and everyone's scared of the dark. Then that's when I feel like, oh, fuck, I gotta fucking do, like, I can't let these people down. Like, fuck it. We'll think about your fear of the dark later.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I'll probably go in slowly than normal.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I still got to do this shit.
But what about in the off time to prepare for a situation like that?
Probably not in the dark.
Do you think about training for stuff like that?
In the dark?
Yeah.
No, but I do think of like exit strategies. I do think about, I have imaginary fights in my head sometimes.
Well, that's really cool.
Or like altercations. I think that's why I probably dream some crazy shit. Like I kill people.
Yeah.
I have that. I have, I think defensively a lot. Not as much as you probably, but I think pretty defensively.
But what about like, do you ever have the need of like for example, one of the reasons why I like shooting, obviously I like marksmanship a lot. the second thing, I also like training, because if you don't train it, you're not going to be able to apply it when the situation happens. So I like shooting because I know that when shit happens,
you want it to be muscle memory.
Yeah. And that's the same thing. Like I like martial arts for the martial arts aspect.
Yeah.
But I also like it when things are like just muscle memory, you know?
Yeah. I'm giggling because I just remembered my dream.
Yeah.
The one I shared with you.
Yeah.
So like really quickly, I had this dream where I witnessed a walk by. It was like a drive by, but they walked. They killed people. And then I was a witness. They found out I was a witness. And then they're chasing me all over the city. And as they're chasing me on foot, in my dream, I'm like, because they're catching up to me, I'm like, fuck, man, I need to run more. So that's what it made me giggle. Because I'm like, God damn it, I need to run more just in case. And I hate thinking like, oh man, something's always going to happen to me. Like, I hate thinking that way, but I'm always, like, not always, but a lot of the time I am thinking of like just different types of strategies. Like if this were to happen, where would I, like if you can paint a scenario for me right now, I might have already thought about something like that.
That's good. I can't paint any scenarios, but I think for me, I know things are going to happen. So I don't like thinking like that too. Well, oh shit, something's going to happen to me. But I know things happen. So I'm like, instead of trying to not think about it, I'm just better prepared for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm even that way just with social interactions. Like after an interaction, if there was something that I didn't like that I said, or how I said it, or my tone in which I said things.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, man. I'm always
playing it back,
self-regulating or self-reflecting. And I'm like trying to just not edit, but I'm just like, oh man, fuck. I hope this person didn't take it this way. And I'm just like overthinking things too much. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
This is it.
What is it?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that was fast.
We reached our hour mark. We didn't even know where this conversation was gonna go, but we just riff off of each other so good.
We just like talking with each other. It's a real conversation.
Yeah. I like talking to you.
I like talking to you too.
This is really fun.
Maybe we should get married.
I'm already married, bro. He put a ring on it.
All right, fine. I was gonna marry you in a dark place anyways.
I would have definitely been there.
That's cutie.
Yeah. If you're holding my hand, I'm cool.
Why?
Because I love you and I trust you and I know that you're so capable that you're going to have my back.
That's cutie.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember I tell you whenever we are in like any sort of stressful situation or whatever, or anything that might be a stressful situation, like if we're traveling abroad, I'm like, autopilot, Papa's got it. But if you're not there, I'm like, oh shit, full alert. I become a fucking...
That's one of the things, like why I liked about lifting. So you know my original story why I wanted to lift?
Did you say why I liked about lifting?
Yeah. Or what I like about lifting is, so for me, I feel like what you don't train, you can't execute, right? Like you can't be good at doing your taxes if you're not good at math.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, I would like to have a bunch of tools in my brain and my body. And one of them I enjoy building is strength. So you know how there's people like when they go in a restaurant, they're always like, oh, I like to face the door. Oh, I gotta be on. That's me, dude. Yeah, I gotta be on the outside.
I don't like my back towards the door.
Yeah, like I gotta be on the outside because if stuff happens, I'm gonna be stuck on the inside.
That's not me.
For me, I don't really give a shit where I'm at, because if I'm here and this is the whatever, then see you later, buddy. Boom. That's gonna be pretty much like
he did this. See you later, buddy. Boom.
Yeah, I know that's gonna be a good 450 pounds of force.
Yeah.
Launching this motherfucker out. If I'm facing this way and the back is here, if I turn my head and I don't like what I'm seeing, I'm grabbing this table and I'm fucking launching it that way. So for me, I'm like, yeah, you got...
That's so hot.
You kidding me? So for me, I'm just like, everyone sit wherever you want. Whatever you makes your little heart feel comfortable. Everyone can say whatever. Because if I need to get the fuck out of this place, I view myself like I'm going to be a juggernaut. I'm going to get the fuck out of this place.
Does that rule still apply? We split up and then we meet up later?
No, we're going to get stuck together.
What the fuck? You can't just good thing I asked.
I learn new things all the time. We could have been
so fucked up.
I learn new things all the time.
You would have wanted to stay together, and I'm like, no, Papa, you said we got to split. I'm going to leave and I'm
well, guess
die.
what? On this podcast, we're always going to know the protocol. If some shit happens, we're in our car, we're sticking together, we're going to watch each other's back, and we're going to be eyeballs for each other.
Okay, we're going to go over time on this.
If
Why?
you're going forward.
What changed?
Okay, so you remember, so this is why I like training. So stuff changes all the time. Protocols change all the time. In the military, right? Or anytime you first learn about firearms, the first thing is trigger safety, trigger control. So everyone takes pictures like this. Finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. That's the rule.
Or kill.
Right. Yeah. And then the other one is don't point your gun at anything unless
you're ready
intended to kill. Yeah. So those are blanket statements for safety, for general public safety. When I took my shooting class with
what gun is this?
With Johnny Primo, just an AR and pistol. With Johnny Primo of Courses of Action, former special ops dude.
Okay, with the hookup.
Right. So shout outs to him. Former special ops, special forces dude at extreme high level of shooting where he's put an application, aka killed a bunch of fucking bad motherfuckers. He says that's all great, but when you're actually in the application at that high level, his finger is always on the trigger because by the time a bad guy pops up, moving it off and then putting it in and feeling it's too late.
Yeah.
For him, the minute he pulls the gun out of the holster, his finger is already on the trigger. Squeeze, 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 and every trigger has a breaking point. That wall. He is so most people won't even know that a wall's there because they haven't finger banged the gun enough. The minute he pulls it up, it's already at that wall, and then he's ready to pop off. And when it calms down, then his finger comes off, but it's slowly there. But he'll never post that because people are too ignorant and uninformed. Then they'll be like, "Why the fuck is he finger on the trigger all the time?" And it's because he's at such a high level. So rules change. Even in the Marine Corps, when I learned how to shoot,
the same for him.
No, when I learned.
Because he's ready to shoot. He's ready to point at something that he wants to kill.
When he's on patrol, he's like right here.
Yeah, so that rule still applies.
No, when you're on patrol, you don't have a target.
Oh, patrol, my bad.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm sorry.
If it comes out of the holster, it's on the trigger. He's on the trigger all the time.
Got it.
And because he's not going to have any accidents. This is for people that are going to have accidents, aka the normal person.
Yeah.
So as you get trained, you learn different things. Even in the Marine Corps.
So where did you get trained?
Who pride themselves in shooting, we're taught to keep finger off the trigger. So in different like urban stressful situations, just through conversation, what I've learned is you always want to remain buddy system. Number one, it keeps morale high. If both of us are tied up together, our chances of surviving are much higher. Number two, two pairs of eyes is much better because one person can lead the direction while the other person is always watching your six. So that's something else.
How cute. That means you're back.
Yeah, you're back. So that's
I had to do the math, right? I had to visualize the clock. I'm like, oh, you're 6. Oh, you're back.
So that's more important. And that way, if we do have a weak link in certain areas, like let's say you're a faster runner than me or whatever, then you can help accommodate for those certain weaknesses, but we can also adapt to the situations together versus you might be hella good at climbing and you already climbed to the safety zone and I'm still there trying to jump. And I'm like,
then you're leaving. Then you're going to get me killed.
No, because
I don't want to stick with you.
No, because if it's two
I'm
two
kidding,
on
baby.
one or 2 on 2, that's still better odds.
Baby.
Yeah. So things change. So that now if shit happens,
which it always does,
we have to have one leader though. And,
that's me.
And fine, I'll follow you.
No, I'm just kidding.
And then we got to stick together.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad I asked you guys because we could have died.
But it's always good to prepare for
when did you
things.
make up your mind and you didn't tell me?
I'm pretty sure I told you, but you just forgot.
Okay. Well, I'll probably forget again. So hopefully I remember. All right,
we'll stick
guys.
together. But when shit happens, I'm going to yell it out. We got to stick together. And then you'll know.
Thank you,
right
baby.
then and there, we're going to stick together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to so make it. I have no doubts.
Really? Why?
Because we're badass. I think I'm a pretty cool person. I think you're a fucking badass.
You're really cool.
Thank you. So I think we're going to make it.
Oh, fine.
I don't see me dying anytime soon. If some shit goes down, I'm fucking killing people.
How? Have you been trained to kill people?
I'm a fucking scavenger. What is that called? A scrapper.
So Ronda Rousey pops out of nowhere. She wants to fight you. What happens?
I'm kicking her in her nuts.
You'd say she has nuts.
No, like the lady nuts.
Oh, okay.
Lady nuts. We have little nut bags.
And you think you don't think she'll see that coming a mile away?
I'm gonna grind up some.
She's an expert at reading bodies.
I'm gonna grind up some
pepper.
Yeah, I'm gonna go like blood sport.
You better train that pepper blowing.
Okay, well, I better start blowing.
Yeah.
Hey now.
Because if you don't train, you can't execute it.
I thought you were gonna make it rhyme.
If you can't train, then you can't reign.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning into BeawCast. This was a very insightful conversation about everything. So if there's anything you guys ever want us to talk about, please submit it to BeawCast.com. And hopefully we're going to hear from you guys. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.